Beware, for the shadows hold what you fear most.
Long ago, in a quiet village surrounded by thick forests and red earth farmlands, there lived a poor farmer named Obianuju. His hut was made of mud and raffia, his clothes were patched more times than he could remember, and his only wealth was the strength of his hands and the hope that one day the soil would reward his labor. Every morning before the cock crowed, Obianuju would rise, whisper a prayer to the ancestors, and walk to his small farm with his hoe resting on his shoulder. Though he worked harder than most men in the village, hunger followed him like a stubborn shadow. One scorching afternoon, as the sun hung heavily in the sky, Obianuju struck his hoe against something hard beneath the soil. Clang! The sound was not the dull thud of stone but the sharp cry of iron. Curious, he dug deeper until he uncovered a long iron staff, dark with age, etched with strange symbols that glowed faintly like dying embers. Obianuju hesitated. In his village, elders warned that objects buried by the earth were not always meant to be found. But poverty makes the ears deaf to wisdom. He wiped the dirt from the staff, felt its unexpected warmth, and carried it home. That night, he slept uneasily. At dawn, Obianuju awoke to a sound he had never heard in his hut, the gentle clinking of metal. Sitting upright, his heart nearly burst from his chest. Golden coins lay scattered around the iron staff, shining like captured sunlight on his dirt floor. He rubbed his eyes. He blinked. The coins did not vanish. From that day, Obianuju's life changed as suddenly as harmattan turns to rain. Each morning, more coins appeared. Soon, he replaced his mud hut with a brick house, bought livestock, wore fine wrappers, and ate meals that once only chiefs enjoyed. The villagers whispered his name with awe and envy. Some said the gods had finally smiled on him. Others said nothing at all, but watched carefully. Yet wealth gained without understanding always demands payment. Not long after, Obianuju's nights became restless. He began to dream of dark figures chasing him through the forest. In his dreams, his blood stained the earth, and the iron staff stood upright beside his corpse. One night, the dreams changed. A spirit appeared, tall, faceless, wrapped in swirling smoke. Its voice was like wind passing through dry bones. "Return what was never yours," it warned. "Rebury the staff, or calamity will visit you and your village." Obianuju awoke drenched in sweat. Fear gripped him, but greed spoke louder. "Is this not just a dream?" he told himself. "Why should I abandon the wealth that saved me from misery?" Still uneasy, he went to the village seer, an old man whose eyes had seen more years than most trees. After hearing Obianuju's story, the seer sighed deeply and struck his divination staff against the ground. "There is a story," the seer said, "older than this village." He spoke of a powerful seer who once lived generations ago, chosen by the spirits to hold an iron staff that brought prosperity to the land, abundant harvests, peace, and rain in its season. The staff was sacred and could be touched by no one except the chosen seer. But greed has a long lineage. The seer's son, hungry for power, touched the staff in secret. The spirits were angered. The staff became cursed, and the son died in agony. In sorrow and fear, the spirits commanded the old seer to bury the staff, warning, "If the staff ever sees daylight again, it will give wealth for a short time, but after 10 market days, it will begin to take lives." The old seer obeyed. The present seer looked Obianuju straight in the eyes. "You have awakened a sleeping curse. Go and rebury that staff before death walks among us." Obianuju returned home with his heart pounding. He looked at his fine house, his riches, his new life. The staff lay quietly in the corner, gleaming faintly. Rebury it and return to poverty? He thought. Or keep it and enjoy what fate has given me? Greed won. That night, the spirits came again, but Obianuju refused to listen. The next morning, the village awoke to a scream. Obianuju was found dead in his hut, his eyes wide open in terror, his body cold beside the iron staff. No wound marked him, yet death had clearly claimed its debt. The frightened villagers summoned the seer. After hearing what happened, he told them the full truth. Fear spread like wildfire. Men searched Obina's house and found the iron staff exactly where he left it. That same day, the villagers followed the seer deep into the forest. With rituals, prayers, and trembling hands, they reburied the staff, sealing it with sacred leaves and ancestral symbols so it would never again see the light of day. From that moment, peace returned. And so, elders still tell this tale to children gathered around evening fires. Wealth without wisdom is a borrowed garment, it will be taken back, and often with interest. For the earth remembers what it hides. And the spirits never forget their laws.